Hello viewers, if you are new to the channel, please hit the like and subscribe button and share it with your friends. Also, click on the bell icon so that you get the latest information about the videos that are uploaded. Hello students, welcome back to the new video. In this video, we are going to continue the ongoing chapter number 15, Light. In today's session, we will discuss about spherical mirrors and the terms associated with it. Students, in the previous class, we have learned about plane mirror. What is plane mirror? A mirror with a plane reflecting surface is called as plane mirror. Then what is spherical mirror? As the name indicates, spherical mirrors are curved mirrors. So, what is spherical mirror? It is a curved mirror formed by a part of a hollow glass sphere with a reflecting surface. That means a spherical mirror is a part of a hollow sphere with a reflecting surface. So, the spherical mirrors are of two types, concave and convex. So, depending on the side of the reflecting surface, we can have two types of spherical mirrors or curved mirrors. They are concave and convex. Now, let us discuss about concave mirror. Concave mirror is a spherical mirror with its reflecting surface curved inside. So, that is one of the main characteristics of concave mirror. Its reflecting surface is curved inside. So, we can diagrammatically represent a concave mirror like this. And as I told you, it is a part of a sphere. So, if we try to complete the sphere, we can get the sphere like this. And out of that, a small portion is considered and its outer side is silvered, that is colored. And the inner side is taken as the reflecting surface. So, this is the diagrammatic representation of a concave mirror. Now, let us see what is a convex mirror. Convex mirror is also a spherical mirror, but its reflecting surface is curved outward. So, what is a convex mirror? A spherical mirror with its reflecting surface curved outward. So, diagrammatically we can represent a convex mirror like this. See, its reflecting surface is curved outward and the inner portion is silvered, that is colored portion. If we complete the circle or sphere, we can get like this. So, this is the reflecting surface. So, what is the main difference between a convex and concave mirror? It is about their reflecting surface. In a concave mirror, the reflecting surface is curved inward. If we take this as the part of the sphere, and if we take the inner portion as a reflecting surface, it forms a concave mirror. And if we take the outward portion as the reflecting surface, it forms a convex mirror. So, the main difference is regarding their reflecting surface. Now, let us discuss an activity to study the images formed by concave and convex surfaces. The most commonly available convex and concave surfaces at home is a stainless spoon. Have you seen the spoon, a shiny stainless spoon giving the images? You must have played with that. So, let us discuss that activity. So, what is the aim? To observe the images formed by concave and convex surfaces. Materials required: a shiny stainless steel spoon. And what is the procedure? Take a shiny spoon of stainless steel and observe your face on both sides of the spoon. We have to see the inner side and outer side both. Now, let us see what is the observation. We will find that the images formed appear different. The front side of the spoon is curved inward at the middle. So, it is an example of a concave mirror. So, when we look into the spoon from the front side, its surface is curved inward. So, it is an example of a concave surface. The image formed is smaller in size and inverted, that is upside down. So when we look into the concave side of the spoon, we get a smaller image that is inverted, that is upside down. So we can say that the concave mirror gives a smaller image and that too inverted. Now let us see what type of image is formed by the back side of the spoon. See, the back side of the spoon curves outward or bulges out. So it is like this. It is curved outward. So it is an example of a convex surface or convex mirror. The image formed by this side is upright. That means the convex surface or convex mirror forms an image which is upright. So what conclusion we can draw from this activity? The images formed in the concave surface and the convex surface differ from each other. So both convex and concave mirrors give different types of images. Now let us discuss the terms associated with a spherical mirror. First one, center of curvature. Center of curvature is represented by the letter C. It is the center of the sphere of which the mirror forms a part. I told you spherical mirror or curved mirrors are actually a part of a sphere. So center of curvature or C is the center of the sphere of which the mirror is a part. Next, radius of curvature. That is represented by the letter R. It is the radius of the sphere of which the mirror forms a part. Next, pole. Pole is represented by the letter P. It is the geometric center of the spherical mirror. In the diagram, I will show you where to mark P. So, what is pole? Pole is the geometric center of the mirror. The next term is principal axis. It is the line joining the pole and center of curvature. That is the line passing through the pole of the mirror and center of the sphere. Principal focus. It is represented by capital F. It is the point on the principal axis where a parallel beam of light parallel to the principal axis after reflection converges in the case of a concave mirror and appears to diverge from a fixed point in the case of a convex mirror. That is, this is the point on the principal axis. But it is different for convex mirror and concave mirror. In case of a concave mirror, this is the point where the parallel beam of light actually meets or converges to a point on the principal axis. But for a convex mirror, in the case of a convex mirror, it appears to diverge from the point after reflection. Okay. Next is focal length. The focal length of any mirror is represented by the small letter f. It is the distance of the principal focus from the pole of the mirror. That is the distance between P and F. That is the principal focal length or small f. Now let us see how to represent these points diagrammatically. So this is the diagram of a concave mirror. We have considered this as the concave mirror and this is the sphere of which this mirror is a part of. Okay. So C is the center of curvature, that is center of the sphere of which this mirror is a part of, and P is the pole of the mirror. Pole is the geometric center of the mirror, that is the central point of the mirror which we are considered. Then F. F is the principal focus and R is the radius of curvature. This is the radius of curvature, that is radius of the sphere of which this mirror is a part of. And the line joining or passing through pole of the mirror and center of curvature is called as principal axis. So this is the principal axis. Now to get the principal focus, we have to consider the rays of light that is passing parallel to the principal axis. So this we can represent in the diagrammatic form like this. This is the principal axis and these are the parallel rays. So after reflecting from the mirror, these rays of light actually meet at a point F on the principal axis. So in case of a concave mirror, these reflected rays actually meet on the principal axis and we call it as principal focus. And the distance between F and P, that is principal focus and pole of the mirror, is the focal length of the concave mirror. Since in case of a concave mirror, these reflected rays are actually meeting, we can say that the principal focus of concave mirror is real and also focal length. Now let us consider about the convex mirror. So this is the diagrammatic representation of convex mirror. C, F and P and principal axis all are same. Now we have to consider about the principal focus of a convex mirror. See, this is the convex mirror, P is the pole and this is the principal axis. So the parallel beam of light, that is parallel rays of light, after reflecting from the convex mirror, they are diverging. See, they are moving in different direction. They are not coming and converging to a point. But if we extend this reflected rays backwards like this, then it appears to meet at a point behind the mirror on the principal axis. That also principal axis, if we extend, it appears that this reflected rays appears to meet at a point behind the mirror. That point is known as principal focus of a convex mirror. Since it is formed by the extended rays behind the mirror, we can say that the principal focus of a convex mirror is not real. So this distance between F and P is considered as the focal length. So what we can conclude, the principal focus and focal length of a convex mirror is not real. So students, I hope you have understood the topics very well. But still, if you have any doubt, you can write in the comment section. I will surely try to solve it as early as possible. Here are some review questions. Please solve it in your notebook. Thank you.